These dogs are barking. They're getting on my nerves. One of the worst feelings is having several checklists over weeks of time, checking them off, dedicating your time to checking them off, and realizing after the fact that you really haven't gotten anywhere near your goals. You're already burned out and you're like, wait, I still have so much to do and I'm nowhere near there. Today, I'm going to share with you a tool that you can use to avoid burnout and organize your life. Hi, everyone. My name is Raven Joseph. I'm the host of Getcandidpod. Thank you for tuning in this week. I'm a certified life coach, writing to heal instructor, educator here in New York City, and mentor. So that kind of happened to me this week. This month is a big month for me because I have a whole lot going on. I also sell candles. So I have a big order that is due. As I'm recording this right now, I'm actually burning different candles around the house because I'm testing out the scents for my client to make sure that, the scent throw works. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you can go back to my YouTube channel and listen to my weekly vlog. I made candles and I explained how that works and how the testing process is. So I fell trapped to being busy and not actually being productive. I realized that I had gotten so much done. Like, I've been busy, but I'm just like, what I need to get done by the end of the month, this is not it. So I had to check myself. I had to reevaluate those checklists and figure out what I needed to do that was more important. What I'm going to share with you is a strategy created by Dwight Eisenhower, our former president in the United States. And it's helped me so much. And I would say within a little over 24 hours, I was able to bounce back and get things done. Okay. To just organize and prioritize our lives. And I want you to check in with yourself and see how you're feeling emotionally, mentally. Are you feeling burned out? Are you feeling like, what do you need right now? Is it self-care? Is it just to organize your time? Like, is it just to take a break or take a breath? What's happening in your life? I think it's important for us to schedule time to check in with ourselves daily, even if it's like a 2-minute scan of like just going on physically, how we feel, and just seeing if there's something that we need to do to prioritize ourselves. A few things that you can do to check to see if you're being busy and not productive is 1, checking on your wellness. Do you feel burned out? Do you feel like what I was doing, like checking off this checklist and doing all these things and you're still in the same place? Or even like looking at it, taking a step back and not even looking at it from a viewpoint of just this month. Looking at your year. We're now in June. What have you done this year that has you closer to what goals you want to accomplish? Is it the same thing that you've been doing last year? Are you in the same place? Are you in the same place? Did you check anything off your vision board? Did you even create a vision board? If you don't have a plan, if you're still stuck in the same place, if you're feeling burned out and you're not closer, or you have nothing scheduled in the next 6 weeks or 4 to 6 weeks in your planner stating like, this is something that I need to do in order to get to my goal. If you have nothing planned, nothing written down, and you're still stuck in the same place, you're not being productive, you're being busy. So it's important for you to really organize your time. First, you have to write things down. If you're not writing anything down, it's easy for you to forget why you're doing it. And if you continue to check in with yourself, set a time that you're going to check in with yourself to make sure that you're on the right track, you're more than likely to get closer to your goal. Like, I was supposed to do a weekly check-in. I have been doing weekly check-ins, but somehow I missed the mark. And so when I checked in this week, I realized like, wait, I missed the mark. I need to revisit my goals and like work backwards and see what steps are more important and prioritize. So it does take discernment to decide what's important and what's not. But with this Eisenhower matrix, I'm getting so tight right now. Like, these dogs are barking and it's like distracting me. Oh my goodness. Like, why? If it's not music playing. Anyway, what I was saying, let's start over. In order for you to get back on track and avoid burnout is, 1, you have to schedule things. You have to be intentional about what you want to focus on. Self-care is big. Scheduling time in your life, in your week, in your day to like, for you is always important. it's something that I live on. Like, you want to avoid burnout, that means you have to take care of yourself. If it means like just sitting in the bathtub for 20 minutes and like listening to music, if it means listening to a podcast or a meditation or whatever works for you, you should schedule it every day, 15 minutes for you time. And then you should schedule about an hour or two block in a week to do that. So definitely writing down what your goals are and your steps that you need to do to accomplish those goals are really important. Like I said, if you just think about what you want to do, it's not organized, and it's more likely that you're going to miss something. It's important to schedule check-ins so that you're able to catch yourself like I did. Like, yeah, this is not working. Where I need to be, Z is over here, I'm at B, right? So I was able to catch myself before it was too late. And then I used the Eisenhower matrix, and within the last 48 hours, I've gotten to like, I want to say S out of Z, okay? And that was 48 hours. I reprioritized my task on my list. And so the Eisenhower matrix is to help you to what I call eat the big frog. I created a worksheet for you so you can download it on my website. So go over to www.candidsoulcode.com and make sure you download it. It's free, but I just want you to have a visual representation of what I'm talking about. So it's a 2x2 matrix, and there are 4 quadrants. The first quadrant includes urgent and important tasks. So when we're saying urgent, it needs to be done immediately. When we're saying important, it impacts our long-term goals. Okay, for instance, urgency for me will be paying my rent, right? Because I don't want to be kicked out. Making sure I pay my Wi-Fi bill, because I want to make sure I can upload my podcast and things like that. And also for this month, it was definitely testing out scents for my client, and also finalizing my grades for my students. So that's one. It's important and it's urgent. It needs to be done immediately because it's going to impact my future. The second quadrant is important, but it's not urgent. So these are things that are going to contribute to your future of where you want, what dreams you have for yourself. These are things that you're actually scheduling. So right now I have scheduled for my future to like really help me reach my goals is my coach. So making sure I attend coaching sessions, making sure that I'm attending for you, it could be working out, like something like that, something that like whatever your goal is, if you're including time in your schedule to get things done that are going to help you with your future self, then that is what you put in your quadrant 2. That is most important. That's what Eisenhower wants people to focus on, is their future selves. Like, even with quadrant 1, like the urgency behind certain things, we can sometimes find things to prevent us from it being urgent and last minute. By, for instance, paying my bills, I can go to automatic payments, right? I don't have to do it manually every month. So finding time for that can help you to take away from doing the busy work of like emails and things like that, or just keeping it to a minimum in your week. About 15 to 20 minutes a day, I'm going to work on these urgent tasks, these important urgent tasks, right? But then maybe 2 hours to 4 hours a week, I'm going to work on these important but not urgent tasks, whether it's, like I said, working on something that whatever your goal is, it's going to help you to accomplish that goal. That's what you should be focused on. Quadrant 3 is urgent tasks, but not important tasks. So these are things that need to be done, but at the same time, it's really not going to help your long-term goal. For me, being a business owner, being an educator, I have to figure out how to prioritize my life. Like, there's certain things, being a single woman living alone, like I can't do it all realistically. So there's certain things that I delegate to other people. Like, sometimes if I don't have time to write my newsletter, I'll pay somebody to write it. Sometimes I have to drop my laundry off. Sometimes I'll hire, especially when it gets hectic and it's like really heavy candle season. When I have huge orders, but I still have to make sure I record my podcast, I'm still doing my lesson plans and all these things, I'll have somebody come clean my house because the candles get messy and I'm like physically exhausted to the point where I don't have the energy to clean. I can use my increments of my morning routine and make sure that I'm cleaning in the morning time. But sometimes I don't have time because there's something else I have to do. Again, quadrant 3 are things that are urgent but not important. Meaning, again, important means that it's not going to help me with my long-term goals, right? So I'm going to put that on a back burner and I'm going to delegate it to someone else. And then finally, quadrant 4 is the things that are not important and not urgent. So it's not something you have to do immediately, and it's not something that you need in order to help with your future self. And majority of the times we scroll social media. I am guilty of this. My students encourage me to use TikTok for my business. I don't use TikTok. I'm mainly on YouTube now. And I just feel like, remember, I'm one person. So like, I don't want to be on all these social media platforms. I don't think that it's realistic for me to sustain. And I'm really about sustainability. I want to be consistent for my viewers, for my audience, for my clients. And so I was like, let me go on TikTok. So I put a couple of things on there. Make sure you check me out on TikTok. Getcandidpod. No, I think it's Candid Soco. I'm going to write it in the description box. But I'm on there again, and I found myself the other night really on TikTok for 3 hours. I laid in my bed at 8 o'clock and I didn't put my phone down until 11 o'clock. And the thing is, for Instagram, I'm not even like that. I can post and leave my phone alone for a week. But with TikTok, there's so much comedy on there that I love to laugh. And so like I was scrolling, just keying in my bed the whole time. So I was like, yeah, this is going to be an addiction. So I got to like monitor myself with that. And for those of you who don't know, I do have a social media challenge for those of you who are addicted and you fall into that fourth quadrant where you're busy with things in the fourth quadrant, like Netflix watching, being on social media for too long, or any activity that is like helping you to procrastinate. Because you know how we feel overwhelmed, like we're scared to we're afraid to touch a task because we're not sure that we're good enough. We have these doubts, we have this anxiety, this fear of working on it, so we avoid it. Like we want to help our aunt knowing that they didn't ask for no damn help, like doing things like that. Like, you know what I'm talking about. Anything that falls under you procrastinating and avoiding the things that you actually have to get done, the things from quadrant 2. Quadrant 4, you want to make sure that you are paying attention to the activities that don't really matter and trying to get rid of them as much as possible. Give yourself a challenge. Like, until I accomplish this goal, I'm going to avoid social media. Like, give yourself tasks that are small but can help you move towards your goal fast. Start small, start where you are, and be consistent with what you're supposed to be doing. So for instance, if you can't make it to the gym because you have your family, but your goal is that you want to lose 5 pounds, what can you do in your house? You can change your diet. You can do some workouts. There's free stuff on YouTube. You know, even if it's twice a week, you can do that until you can find the time to make it to the gym, you know, like, but at the same time, you shouldn't be on social media scrolling. You should be doing that 15-minute workout and not staying 3 hours on social media. So yeah, those are the 4 quadrants. And again, you should focus on quadrant 2, those important tasks that are going to help you with your overall goal, but may not be urgent. Keep in mind your priorities. Keep in mind that you can set boundaries and say no so that you have more time to get your stuff done. You know, not to volunteer for things, just to avoid what you really need to get done and really focus on your goals. And for me, one of the big things was checking in with myself and realizing that I was behind. And so I had the opportunity to make that change before going through a whole month and figuring out that, girl, you on the wrong path. You didn't even get near to where you really wanted to be. This morning, I was actually looking at my prayer journal, and I usually don't go back to things that I write about or pray about, and I did today, and I'm not in the same place as I was last year around this time. And I give praise to being consistent, like changing my habits, and in a way that it was small. It was small, but it impacted my life in a big way. So thinking about what you can do in your life today that's small, and I'm going to talk more about this again on another episode. I'm going to go more in depth, but just thinking about like developing habits and systems that can help you to sustain your life, a healthier lifestyle. So just being consistent with those things that you want to do, that you're trying out, and seeing what works for you is really important. But overall, make sure that you're consistent, make sure that you're prioritizing your life, your task, and you're not just going down the checklist and not checking in with yourself to see how you're feeling and putting things in place to make sure that you're not burning yourself out. Try this tool out, the Eisenhower matrix. Let me know how it goes for you. And if you know of any tools that you use to organize yourself and be more productive, let me know. What are some things that you have in place for self-care routines? What are you doing with your life? I would love to hear from you all. Make sure you go to my website, www.candidsoulco.com, and download the free PDF of the Eisenhower matrix to get you started. And while you're there, make sure you subscribe to my newsletter.